know in the chat who you're supporting here. If you're cheering for the blue Terran player in the upper right hand corner from mYinsanity, let us know right now. It is jjakji. And in the lower left hand corner, the green Terran player from Cascade. If you're cheering for Cascade, if you're cheering for Strelok, let's hear it in the chat. So, how's everyone doing? Once again, hope you're all doing well. I am Wardy, and this is the SHITL Season 4, sponsored by Plantronics Gaming, Crowtail, Team Red Bloods, and Team Extreme Supremacy. This is our second match of the league. The other day we saw Axiom Acer take down Root in the first starting match. We might rebroadcast that at some point today. It depends how quick this first match is. And we might rebroadcast it for a little bit. We might not. We might do something else to fill in a little bit of time. We'll see how it goes. But if you missed any of them games, you can check them out on our YouTube, youtube.com/SC2Improve. Or if you head into the Axiom Acer versus Root live report thread and go to the end of the comments, you will actually be able to find, I posted a spoiler-free link to each of the games there. So you can watch them all spoiler-free. So, guys, how is everyone doing? What is going on in the chat? This is indeed the stream for the Team Liquid match after, as both players here have just started with a gas first. Not really too much to say yet so far in this TVT. Gas first into barracks for both players, and jjakji going to up to scout here early on. Alright, so, again, just a bit of a slow start to this TVT, and it won't be for very long. I mean, with gas first builds from both players, we will be seeing those factories come down very, very shortly. And once the factories are down, we're going to be able to start seeing a few units moving across the map, a little bit of aggression coming out from both players. Orbital commands begin as the barracks finish, and Strelok a little bit faster to put down his factory here, but only by about 5 or so seconds, so that shouldn't affect jjakji all too much as he goes and scouts around. So, SCV here, just moving around, seeing what's up, seeing what's happening, which, well, there's not too much really happening right now. He just goes in, he sees that factory though, so you'll know that it's a command center, not a command center first, a gas first play out of his opponent here. And again, Strelok, because he decided not to scout, he does not have that sort of information. So straight away, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Strelok taking a second gas, so is jjakji, but Strelok's again just a little bit faster. I mean, straight away from the way these guys, jjakji decides to scout, Strelok doesn't. You can maybe kind of tell how these guys are thinking of playing, because jjakji wants to know what his opponent's doing, so he might try and play a little bit more defensively. And Strelok, he says, well, my build is just so good, it doesn't matter what you're doing, I'm going to be able to adjust to whatever. So probably just Cloak Banshees from both players here. Would be surprised to see anything too different. Both are adding on that starport right now. Nothing so far. Okay, there's our tech lab coming down for jjakji, so that's what I was just waiting for there, to basically confirm the Cloak Banshee presence here. So, as we have a Hellion coming across the map for Strelok, he's going to scout, try and see what's up, what's happening. He's going to take this left-hand tower and see, there's not too much to actually be seen. And come along to the right-hand side tower now as well. But there is an SCV, and this Hellion will be able to start chasing that down, and this SCV will fall here in a couple more shots. So, jjakji losing the SCV, first blood goes the way of Strelok here on Overgrowth, as Cloak Banshee does start up for jjakji, and Raven actually on the way for Strelok. So this is probably why he didn't decide to scout, because a Raven opening is a very defensive opening. He's actually even building a reactor on his factory now. So a very defensive opening out of our green Terran player, and this could lead into a couple of different things. This could very well be kind of barracks onto the reactor factory, onto the tech lab, build a couple of siege tanks, build a couple of medevacs, and go for that kind of big 8 marine 2 tank drop and try and get some damage done with it. jjakji right now just sitting on top of this ramp as a Wooden Mine pops out for him. That'll help him deflect any kind of incoming Banshee perhaps from his opponent, as again his first Banshee is just about to pop out here and will head straight across the map and should have arrived on the other side just about when Cloak is finished. So we'll see how much damage he is going to be able to get done with this. Starts up his own Raven. It's actually going to be a Viking next out of Strelok, as he does start up that siege tank though and starts to react to out Marine. So still the potential to maybe just go across the map and go for a big kind of push with these early tanks, with that early air control he will gain from having Viking production very early on, from having this early Raven with a couple of PDDs available as well, as this first Banshee is prepared to come in here for jjakji. It's probably not going to be all too... Oh, actually, Strelok's moving out, so he might be able to find a little bit of a way in, might be able to find a little bit of damage. Viking pops out here as well, and Banshee Cloaks will head in. We'll see the setup on the buildings here, and he might even grab a couple of shots onto this tank. No, he's going to go for the worker, and probably wouldn't be able to actually kill the tank, so no point wasting it. And he does delay the command center from building here a little while, allows his own command center to catch up a little back at home. And 4 workers picked off here. It's a pretty good start considering Strelok's opened in such a way that you probably shouldn't expect to take much damage at all from a Cloak Banshee. This Banshee should die. Strelok's 1 hit away from grabbing it there. The Raven will continue chasing the Viking, chasing as well. This Banshee continuing to run. It should get caught in a second. No, it's actually going to get out of range. Okay, so Banshee makes it away. That Raven just a little bit too slow to keep up. Although it does run out of cloak now, so this Viking will be able to cut it off. And Banshee goes down now. Look at this, though. jjakji beginning to move out on the map. Now, that is interesting considering the higher tank count is in favour of Strelok here. And, you know, tanks, air control, very important things when you think about being aggressive early on in TVT. The Widowmine tries to, will burrow at this tower here. That's something which that Raven will be able to help out with. And giving the siege tank a little bit of vision there. So Widowmine will go down. And he will continue advancing forwards. Now, I'm actually a little bit worried for jjakji. His first tank's about to pop out here, but he's definitely going to get his ramp sieged. And he doesn't have air control. Scan here from Strelok, who trails by 6 workers, so he needs to get something done with this. But again, he's going to go a little bit too close here. Or is he? No, actually, jjakji on sieges. He's going to back off. And again, this is a very interesting position because he's going to be able to start picking away at these supply tubers. jjakji gets the first shot though onto the Vikings here, and he gets a shot onto those Marines as well. So now Strelok's just going to back off. He's going to have killed this first depot, and jjakji, he has been reactoring our Vikings. That's why he's been able to catch up in the air control, and that's pretty important here. So he's going to regain air control as Strelok heads into his own counter Cloak Banshees. Not sure how well that'll work again with this Viking production coming from jjakji and with his own Raven out right now as well. BGD is down over here, and it's just going to soak a couple of Viking shots as jjakji will move a little bit closer. And, well, Strelok, his army is pretty caught. His army's pretty much stuck in here now. He can't really afford to, as he moves forward with the Marines, he gets a shot the shot goes down. He can't really afford to escape anymore. He can't afford to move away because if he does, he's going to be running through siege tank lines. He unsieges here. He might just about be able to squeeze out. He's actually just going to back up a little bit more as jjakji's going to move down the ramp, and he does move in range of the first tank, so he's going to get some shots off, and also splashing onto some of these Marines. And Strelok's taking a lot of damage. He scans as they kind of do some counter damage. He will lose this first tank, second tank on sieges, and he might be able to just squeeze out of the edge. Okay, he will just squeeze out there. As Vikings actually drop down, they're going to pick up a couple of Marines, 3 Marines, 4 Marines, 5 Marines, and the tank as well! Oh, Strelok not paying attention there. He had his army on A move. And with the attack move, the Vikings just in range, the army turned around to fight it, losing some units which he really could have kept alive, as jjakji will now land his orbital command at the natural. Strelok has taken a worker lead behind all of this. He is going into mech. Infernal Pre-Igniter is on the way. He's got that second factory up, and he's just making pure Hellion right now. As jjakji with Stimpak about halfway done, we're going to see quite the opposite from him. First Cloak Banshee from Strelok in towards the main base. Already picking off 5 workers, so doing a fair amount of damage. As the Raven comes into range, he'll pick off 1 more worker and maybe grab 1 more. 7 workers killed though, and that's pretty good going. Putting Strelok at a 12 worker advantage now. As jjakji going to move out for a little bit of counter-aggression of his own. Again, he does hold that air control right now, so he can be very aggressive with these tanks. And maybe go and get this position behind, or well, on the third base essentially, to siege up the natural mineral line here. So, could maybe do that. And be a little bit abusive, as these Hellions are actually going to catch the tanks in the middle of the map. And this is pretty huge. 1 tank goes down. And big pick off there by Strelok. Already really minimizing the amount of damage you can potentially take from this incoming attack. Raven is on full energy here almost for Strelok, as he's on to 4 Vikings, 2 more being made at a time. And how many Vikings are in total for jjakji? Well, only 6. And if Raven's on similar energy, is that another Viking to medevac? Well, if, with these, a couple of these Vikings have taken a couple of shots, so it's actually Strelok who's going to have the healthier Viking count, as he is going to land his Vikings here, and he's just going to move out. He's just going to greet this army from jjakji. Auto turrets coming down here, and I think jjakji might be about to lose everything. This siege tank is doing quite a lot, but these Hellions are just going to keep moving forwards. Marines are dropping out of the medevac here as well, but that's going to get cleaned up. Perhaps it's going to start boosting away, and it will just about be able to get away here. But I think that's a pretty nice trade from Strelok, and maybe now can afford to move across the map. Again, he gains the air control with those Vikings staying alive. And, well, with a couple of tanks popping out in a moment or 2 maybe. Okay, he's just got 1 on the way. He still, though, with 2 tanks, he could maybe move across the map. He's got, there's not really much here at all for jjakji. At the same time, he could just maybe use this as an opportunity to take a 3rd base. But Strelok taking an early lead here now. Well, not really an early lead. We're 14 minutes in the game. It's been very back and forth. Both players, deciding to take their turns and being aggressive. But I think overall, Strelok's aggression has been working out a little bit better. jjakji, I mean, he gained absolutely nothing with that last attack, and our resources lost are fairly even, slightly in favour of Strelok. You know, Strelok has been on more workers. He killed off them extra workers with his Banshee compared to what jjakji was able to get done with his. As these two Marines are going to get chased down, and the Hellions will catch them there. Is an armory finished? Because if it is, man, these Hellbats, they could maybe just move straight into the natural. No, there is no armory. So that's pretty big here. Scan comes down, he sees that army on the high ground. He's just going to move forwards, and, well, let's see what he can do. Tanks begin to siege. There's a lot of damage being taken there on that bio. And Strelok's still in such a good position. Another Banshee being made right now, as these two tanks for jjakji will in siege, and he's going to pull them back a little bit, aware of the fact that Strelok's going to be getting into a bit of an aggressive position. And it looks as though he might see these tanks siege up over here, and in fact he's going to siege up here, and that's still in range of the gas, so going to be able to force kill on the, well, be able to kill the gas here. And denying the gas is pretty big. I mean, we're talking about you know, when you're only on 2 bases each, that's a quarter of your gas mining just gone. So that's not so great here for jjakji. As Strelok, he's playing mech, he's got a contain on his opponent. This is really great for him, as these Hellions are going to move forwards. They're going to try and soak a couple of shots for the tanks, but jjakji was target firing there, as one Viking goes a little bit too far forwards. And I mean, if he came around the back, he could maybe grab their medevacs. As another Viking is actually going to go a bit too far forward again. No, okay, he's just going to leave that there. And again, just a little bit of damage being done here and there by Strelok, but he's got this contain on his opponent, and he's got units back at home as well, just in case his opponent decides, hey, let's try drop, let's try and do something else. Banshee on the way into the main base, and there is a turret here, so jjakji did not skip out on that after killing that last Banshee. Coming in right now, and this Banshee is going to be able to pick off a couple of workers. It's going to take a little while, actually. Is he not going to get any? He's so close to getting any. Come on! Oh, Banshee, is he going to get scanned? Yes, he is. He's not going to get a single kill. And jjakji's units, this like, they haven't had enough. They haven't killed enough just yet. Try and take that tech lab down with them. If I can move forward again here, just a couple of spaces to try and see what's up, see what's happening. There's a few Marines, a few Marauders coming down, and a couple of auto turrets coming down. So here we go. Units moving forwards, and also dropping behind as well to try and help out, as these Vikings will also land to try and help these tanks. More Hellions coming across the map though, and jjakji, well, he's evened up the supply quite significantly so far. Well, these Hellions are all going to get cleaned up as well, and I wonder if Strelok wouldn't have just been better to kind of back off a little bit. Tanks will siege here, and he's actually going to do quite a bit of damage to these Marauders, which are running into those tanks. And, well, he's actually going to lift up now. He's going to move and probably try and drop on top of the tanks here. And, well, the tanks are in siege, so now he's just going to be able to drop the Marauders out. So these 3 tanks will go down, and jjakji retakes the supply lead here in this game. Some cute micro to keep a couple extra Marauders alive. Strelok just stayed there a little bit too long, or took a little bit too long reinforcing. Them extra tanks weren't there, and that's definitely going to have made all the difference here in this game, as now he has to set up in a bit of a defensive posture. And he's got to be a little bit wary of drops as well, as jjakji does actually just load up a couple of medevacs right now as we say that. So he's going to head towards the main base with those right now. There isn't actually anything in this main base to kind of deflect those. There's a few units actually, okay, so he's actually rallying to his main, but there's no turrets or anything like that. And of course he landed all his Vikings. I think that's probably the mistake he made. You know, if he just retreats with the Hellions and says, right, I'm not going to be able to win this fight, just retreat, get my Vikings out of there, he actually saves a lot more, and Strelok's probably actually in a pretty good position from that point. What's this? This Banshee forces a cancel from the 3rd command center. That's actually pretty huge here. Another Banshee in this main, as it's up to 5 kills actually. It will get picked off here as this double drop heads towards the main base, but Strelok awaits it, and will not be able to get too much done. jjakji's just going to fly straight on through. He's going to head in towards the back of the natural here as well at the same time, because he is trying to siege up, and he is actually going to get that siege position on the 3rd base, which we were talking about a little bit earlier. And these 2 medevacs, they're still flying around. I mean, imagine you still have that Viking count. They would be dead medevacs here. And Strelok being in a much better shape, he would have been able to take them down. Look at this, a big drop loaded up from jjakji. Where's he going to go? Tanks are beginning to move forwards a little bit here for Strelok, as he's going to try and... well, he's actually going to end up in range, so he should be able to take these tanks down. As the, whoa, we're going to have a big drop. Here we go. Seeker missile coming down as well, as these units are all going to unload. Is it going to be enough, though? It looks as though it will be, because jjakji is just cleaning on up. His supply is staying pretty high as Strelok's just plummets. And look at this. Everything's going to go down here, and, well, Strelok, what went wrong here? Well, that's another drop from jjakji. He scans. He thinks there's a hidden base. He thinks there's a hidden base of his opponent. He can't quite believe it. GG called. And Strelok, a little bit of a throw there.